If you ask any gearhead to pick one sports car to own and drive forever, the answer will almost certainly be a Porsche, particularly the legendary Porsche 911. In the automotive world, the Porsche name carries a certain weight and status that is difficult to replicate. Owning a Porsche, on the other hand, appears to be a pipe dream for most gearheads, as the brand is known for producing high-end sports and luxury vehicles. In 2023, the most affordable new Porsche model starts at just under $60,000, which is far out of reach for the majority of gearheads. But don't be concerned. If you've always wanted to own a Porsche but don't have the funds to do so, we'll take you on a thrilling journey through the world of Porsche's pre-loved wonders, where luxury, speed, and engineering excellence can be yours for less than $20,000. Hi guys, welcome to Finest Vehicles. Today we will look at Porsches that you can buy for under $20,000. And stay tuned, because somewhere in this video we will present a fun fact that you will find very interesting. Number 10. The Porsche 914, which starts at $11,000. When Porsche created the legendary 911 in the mid-1960s, every gearhead desired one. Unfortunately, due to the high price and limited production numbers, only a few were able to obtain one. So, in 1969, Porsche collaborated with Volkswagen to create the 914 in order to provide more options for gearheads. The 914 replaced the Cayman Coupe as Volkswagen's top-of-the-line sports car, while the 912 became Porsche's entry-level model. The 914 had a distinct, some would say ugly, design that stood out from the 911 and was powered by a Volkswagen four-cylinder engine producing 79 horsepower. While the 914 wasn't as pretty or as fast as many Porsche fans had hoped, it was reasonably priced and sold over 100,000 units. This is why you can still find one for less than $20,000 today. It does 0 to 60 miles per hour in 13.3 seconds and has a top speed of 116 miles per hour. Number 9. The Porsche 928, which starts at $9,000. At the height of the fuel crisis in the late 1970s, some Porsche executives wished to replace the 911 with a new flagship model that would combine the best features of a top sports car and a luxury vehicle. That is how the 928 was born. The Porsche 928 was the company's first V8-powered production car, and it was easily among the best Grand Tours of the time. The Porsche 928 nearly replaced the 911 as the company's flagship model, but internal politics saved the icon. Porsche executives eventually decided to sell both cars concurrently, and the 928 went on to enjoy an 18-year production run. It has a top speed of 140 miles per hour and does 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.8 seconds. Not bad from an engine that produces 219 horsepower. Number 8. The Porsche Panamera, which starts at $18,100. The Porsche 911 is known for being one of the few sports cars that can be driven on a daily basis. The 911, despite being a four-seater, isn't practical. So, what do you do if your family has outgrown the 911's confining confines? That is precisely why Porsche created the Panamera in 2009. The Panamera is a luxury sedan with 911 styling elements but more space and technological, luxury-oriented amenities. The standard 2012 Panamera has a 3.6-liter V6 engine that produces 296 horsepower, but there are other engine options available, including a 375 horsepower hybrid. It does 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.8 seconds and has a top speed of 162 miles per hour. Number 7. The Porsche 911 Carrera in 996 generation, which starts at $16,500. 1999 was a watershed moment for the Porsche 911. In 1999, the 996 generation debuted with two significant changes. For starters, the 911 received its first major redesign in years, which included the removal of the rounded headlights. The most significant and contentious change was mechanical, with Porsche replacing the air-cooled engine used for over 3 decades with a water-cooled flat-six. This change, according to some purists, marked the end of the true 911. Because of these changes, the 996 became an outcast in the 911 family, and it can now be yours for as little as $16,500, according to Haggerty. But it's still a Porsche 911, and with a 320 horsepower flat six providing all the motivation, it still delivers endless thrills behind the wheel. It does 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.9 seconds and has a top speed of 178 miles per hour. Number 6. The second generation Porsche Cayenne, which starts at $18,500. SUVs are currently some of the best-selling vehicles in the world, which is why nearly every automaker has one or more in their lineup. That was not the case 2 decades ago. This is why, when Porsche debuted its first SUV, the Cayenne in 2003, everyone was taken aback. They did not expect an automaker known for producing world-class sports cars to venture into the mundane world of SUVs. Naturally, Porsche purists were outraged by the Cayenne, but that didn't stop it from becoming the company's best-selling model. Because of the high sales volume, you can get a used Cayenne for peanuts. It does 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.8 seconds and has a top speed of 150 miles per hour. The engine produces 240 horsepower. Number 5. The Porsche 924S, which starts at $4,000. The 924 replaced the 914 as Porsche's entry-level model in 1976. The 924, like the 914, used a Volkswagen engine to help keep costs low. The 924, on the other hand, had a much better design than the 914 and was the first production Porsche to use a front-engine, rear-wheel drive layout and a fully automatic transmission. Almost a decade after the 924 was introduced, Porsche replaced the Volkswagen engine with an in-house engine and renamed the car the 924S. This improved the 924's performance and made it more appealing to Porsche purists. It does 0 to 60 miles per hour in 8 seconds, has a top speed of 134 miles per hour, and has 155 horsepower. Number 4. The first generation Porsche Boxster, which starts at $7,000. Porsche and other top European automakers had a difficult decade in the 1990s. The auto industry had yet to recover from the devastating effects of the fuel crisis and the resulting restrictive regulations, and on top of that, Japanese automakers had flooded the market with low-cost performance vehicles, further reducing sales. Porsche needed to act quickly if it was to maintain its position as the best sports car manufacturer, so it created the Boxster in 1996. In the eyes of many gearheads, the Boxster was a masterstroke that helped steer Porsche back in the right direction. The Boxster shared styling cues with the much more expensive 911 in roadster form, as well as a similar engine and, best of all, a mid-engine layout. The first-generation Boxster was such a fantastic car that some 911 buyers were enraged at Porsche, believing the Boxster was arguably better than the 911 despite costing significantly less. It does 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.5 seconds, has a top speed of 155 miles per hour, and boasts 217 horsepower. Number 3. The Porsche 944, which starts at $5,900. The Porsche 944 is yet another front-engine sports car that Porsche sold in the 1980s to attract budget-conscious buyers. The 944 was based on the 924 platform, but it received several styling and mechanical upgrades that made it a far superior car in the eyes of many gearheads. The 944, in particular, used a Porsche engine, as opposed to the standard 924, which used a Volkswagen engine. The engine in question is a 2.5-liter inline-4 with 158 horsepower. Those looking for more power could opt for the Porsche 944 Turbo, which produced up to 247 horsepower. The base model does 0 to 60 miles per hour in 8.3 seconds and has a top speed of 135 miles per hour. Number 2. The first-generation Porsche Cayman, which starts at $17,600. Porsche's first-generation Boxster was a huge success. As a result, Porsche decided to introduce a coupe version for the second generation, resulting in the Cayman. The Cayman debuted in 2005, sharing the Boxster's mid-engine platform as well as other components such as the trunk lid, front fenders, headlights, and tail lights. The Cayman, unlike the Boxster, had a hatchback for easy access to the luggage area. The Cayman was powered by a 2.7-liter flat-six engine that produced 242 horsepower. It does 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.8 seconds and has a top speed of 162 miles per hour. Before we go to the number 1 on this list, here's the fun fact of this video. Did you know that, in 1902, the world's first speeding ticket was issued? The driver was allegedly going 45 miles per hour. And now, for number 1. The Porsche 968, which starts at $18,000. Following the introduction of the 944 S2, many felt that its 10-year-old design was out of date. As a result, Porsche rolled up its sleeves and created a replacement called the 968. The 968 was Porsche's final attempt at producing front-engine sports cars, and it would be the company's only front-engine model until the Cayenne debuted in 2003. The 968 was heavily based on the 944 and shared approximately 80% of its components, but it had an updated exterior and interior design that notably lacked pop-up headlights. The 968 was powered by an updated version of the 944's inline-4 engine, which now produced 237 horsepower. It does 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.3 seconds and has a top speed of 157 miles per hour. Which one would you like to own? Give your opinion in the comments. Did you enjoy this video? Then please like and subscribe for more of the best new vehicle videos here at Finest Vehicles.